any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
The only part of your morning that doesn't suck. The Opening Drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610.
Mike Hotvan.
Sports Animal.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. Thanks for joining us on the Sports Animal. So Twitter is saying, Ben, that half the NFL is about to get suspended for gambling.
Half might be a reach, but it also might not be.
What is that, a minimum of one season? Is that what it is?
Well, it depends on the severity of the violation, but we've known, like, Indianapolis Colts cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, we're going to get the axe pretty soon because of his gambling issues with the NFL, but it's not going to stop there. Allegedly, apparently, multiple NFL players will join him with season-long suspensions, and multiple players will have multiple game suspensions. So anytime this week, the news will be coming out of who gets it for how long.
Yeah, what's interesting to me about this one is he had like the multiple, like, I played
Out in 20 seconds.
He's gonna obviously catch the one, and this is the leaked name, right? So everyone already knew it, so it's not like that's an exciting one because it was already there. Cool. He has to immediately quit the NFL forever and join DraftKings or something and use Isaiah Rodgers promo code for picks, something of that nature, because the NFL does not care about you. You are done with the NFL.
Let's hit this a little bit more when we get back, because I think there's more to unpackage here. Also, we got some big Travis Kelce news in the weed world, so this is going to be a cool story as well. We're going to grab a quick one and come back. 1 hour in the books, one more hour to go right here on 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're all clear?
We can have a party and kill all that. I'm trying to have some fun. I'm trying to find the one that's coming home with me. They say that.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
A new 2022 Ford Escape is discounted $2,500 at MalloyFord.com. Built Ford proud. Plus 2 years of maintenance and warranty forever. When you think Ford, think Malloy Ford in Los Lunas.
OACC dealer for details. Traffic right now. Crash cleanup 6th Street at I-40. Also looks like the lights are out there as well. You'll need to treat that as a four-way stop. Appreciate the call on the traffic tracker hotline about that. Southbound on I-25, seeing a little bit more congestion now between Osuna and Comanche. Westbound I-40 moving slow. 12th Street to Coors. Westbound Paseo right now between 2nd Street and Coors. Traffic moving slow there as well.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
If you see an accident, call the traffic tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Shohei Ohtani might just be too good, or at least too good for his own good. or too good for his own popularity. Because as popular as this dude is, he's still not nearly popular enough. And as much credit as he gets, he doesn't get nearly enough credit, probably because he's so great. It's actually hard to talk about his greatness now. He's so consistently incredible that it gets old and repetitive calling him incredible. But the reality is this. He is the greatest baseball player of all time, and he is in his prime right now. And he may have just had his best game ever last night. 2 bombs, 10 strikeouts. The guy is hitting 407 on games that he starts. Nobody has ever had a career like the career Shohei is in the middle of right now, which is why when I say as big of a deal as he is, he's still not nearly big enough.
Since 2019, Fiesta Subaru has committed to being the best Subaru retailer possible. Our Subaru Love Promise ensures we're providing exceptional customer service and community support while delivering safe, reliable Subarus. Keeping current owners on the road with an expert service center is essential. Now, we're excited to announce that soon we'll be moving to a new state-of-the-art facility at Lomas in Louisiana, allowing us to serve our Fiesta family even better. Until then, visit us at fiestasubaru.com or 8100 Lomas Northeast.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The sports animal, proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us. Now betting for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, Men On, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Amory Castillo. This is 2 Men.
You're hot, man.
With Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Welcome back to the program. Isaiah, I lost your volume on your end, so if you can bring me back to life, I'd really appreciate that. We're continuing our NFL talk. Van Nunley back at the studio. I'm all the way up in Santa Fe. It's 5 o'clock. If you're hanging out with the boys, it's New Mexico's vodka. Tell her vodka as soon as you get off work. We're talking about this NFL gambling stuff and the Sports Animal live chat, facebook.com/talkabq. Friend of the show, Freddie, says these guys have to know this stuff wasn't permitted. I think it's kind of been proven multiple times over they didn't know it wasn't permitted. I think they knew they couldn't bet on their own team, and I think outside of that, they didn't know much.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 big no-nos. Apparently, there's like a book of information about the gambling policies in the NFL, but there's 6 big ones. If you stay away from these, you should be fine. And to me, it's nothing too complicated. Anybody, even an NFL player, should be able to learn these 6 rules. And it's pretty simple to me.
What are the rules, though? I don't know what the rules are.
Okay, number 1, you said it first. Number 1, don't bet on the NFL. Okay, duh. Pete Rose stuff. Number 2, don't gamble at your team facility while traveling for a road game or staying at a team hotel. A lot of guys have been guilty of this one.
Now, hold on. Say that one again.
Okay, don't gamble at your team facility. Okay? Don't gamble while traveling for a road game. Don't gamble while staying at a team hotel. So that's basically don't gamble on the clock.
Gamble on anything.
Anything. Yeah, period. Don't gamble on anything when you're on company time. Okay, number 3, and I think this one would be fairly obvious too. Don't have somebody gamble for you. Hey, cousin, run to the sports book for me. Drop this down.
Mule.
Okay. Number 4. This also seems very obvious. Don't share team inside information. Hey, Lil Ricky, our quarterback's got hurt. Our left tackle stayed out all night. There's no way we're winning this game. Okay. Stuff like that seems very obvious. Don't enter a sports book during the NFL playing season. Seems fairly obvious also.
Like at all.
Yeah, at all. Don't go into a sports book, period. And number 6, the last one, don't play daily fantasy football. That's when you gamble on a single lineup on an NFL weekend. Everyone knows that one. So except for number 2, these are all super easy, super straightforward. The only tricky one was the one that you had to ask me about again. Don't gamble at the team facility. Don't gamble while traveling. Don't gamble while staying at a team hotel. That seems kind of weird. And that's one that's gotten a lot of people in trouble.
So if I'm at home, my regular home, I can gamble at any time on a sport that's not the NFL? Question mark.
Correct. Off the clock, not at a team facility. You can gamble on a sport that's not the NFL and apparently now college football.
I guess on the clock is an interesting one because when your contract, when your salary, aren't you always on the clock?
You kind of are, but to me, the way it reads is air quotes on company time at the team facility while traveling. Because I guess they classify the bus or the plane as the team facility or the hotel as a team facility when you're on the road.
I imagine you don't have a ton of downtime outside of being in the hotel when you're on the road. I don't think you get a chance to go sit at the corner bar.
Right.
Like you have a Sunday game. I assume you get in on Friday, I'm assuming. And then Saturday, like walkthroughs, get yourself right. My understanding too is you're so like, I don't know, imprisoned in your hotel. I mean, I'm not sure what word to use. That like some of these dudes bring like the nicest like PlayStation 5 setups you've ever seen.
Sure.
So they can just, never be away, or they have a routine that they really like. Because these guys are creatures of habit. So if part of your habit is nightly checking your daily fantasy lineup, I mean, I get all of that. Like that all tracks to me. Do you think it's negotiated out at the next opportunity to negotiate out for the NFLPA?
I bet it's clarified. That's for sure. The rules and stipulations have to be more clarified on this. I mean, just the basics right here that I read off, it seems pretty logical and reasonable to me that no one in their right mind would do this, because all of these rules are in place except for the team facility stuff. All this has always been in place. Like this isn't new. None of this is new except for the daily fantasy football and the team facility stuff. All this is very straightforward, very simple. And apparently it's not that simple because teams have had to go as far as putting together friggin' PowerPoints, making teams laminated pocket wallet size cheat sheets of what not to do. It's gotten that bad to where you got to have in your wallet a laminated card. Don't bet on the NFL. Don't bet while you're on company time. Don't do daily fantasy. Don't have your cousin run to the sports book. Like that's how bad it's gotten.
Some of these degenerates are so bad to where it's maybe, and I'll use like Zay as an example. Like get a custom background for your phone with the rules on it. Like have it right there in front of you.
Right.
Like the do not do this. Like you should have the 5 rules of like covering Jerry Rice and the 5 rules of not betting on sports to lose your job. Because all these, and the majority of this list, like the big buzz name is a kick returner in Indianapolis.
For
like,
now.
These are all fringe dudes. This is it. Like no one of any substance is gone. It's going to be all these bottom tier. We need to make an example the same way we did at Josh Gordon, even though Travis Kelce says that 80% of the league smokes weed.
That's sweet. You know what's really fun when you're high? Gambling.
You can't convince me that 50% of these guys don't have buddies that they give advice for. Like, hey, put this in. If it hits, give me 50%. It's just,
that's been, I mean, you nailed it right there. That's been the case forever. It's like you got your homie text and you FaceTime and it's like, oh my God, dude, you won't believe it. Rodrigo Blankenship has a stomach virus. We got to have a backup kicker. We just got him down the street. He kicked for Kent State 6 years ago. Like, bet on the Buccaneers to cover because we don't have a kicker.
And you're going with a soft one. Like, the hard one is like, homeboy, go run and put some money down because I'm about to take Barrett Robbins to Tijuana and you won't see him during the Super Bowl.
Sure, exactly.
Zay doesn't know what I'm talking about
at all.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing that happened. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just wild to me how, you know what I do like about it too, though, is these guys who, for so very much don't have a ton of control, and they can have a control over this thing, and they have a chance. And I bet you there's a lot of examples of dudes who have got the bag off this. Like you're only doing it because you've seen others do it successfully. But also maybe there's just that perception, because Travis Kelce's talking about this 80% weed thing, right? And like, hey, right now, there's a friend of the show. It's like, I've been to tailgates. 80% everyone there smokes weed. Like, that is a football-centric culture thing. Like, I live a regular life. I do not smoke weed. Like, I have so many people in my life that do not smoke weed. Are there people in my life that do smoke weed? Heck yes. Or some of them on this radio show.
You're talking about me. Yeah, yes, I do. I do smoke weed. I'm more of an edible guy these days, but I've always participated in a little devil's lettuce, like basically my whole life.
But I think there's a perception issue to it, to where when Travis Kelce is saying these things like, 80% smoke weed, 75% do steroids. Like, it's not the super common thing you think it is. It is in that world. In that world, it's 8 out of 10. In everyday world, it is not 8 out of 10.
No,
it's not 5 out of 10.
The CDC says about 1 in 5 Americans weekly
20%.
use cannabis.
That tracks.
About 20% of Americans weekly use cannabis, and about 40% of Americans at least annually use cannabis.
That's a lot lower.
That's lower than I would have guessed.
Very.
No, it's only a shade lower, because I would have said 25%. I would have said 25% annually smoke weed, like one time a year, that kind of thing. Like every year I go down to the lake with the kid, like that one. You know which one it is? It's Christmas Eve when you have to go see your in-laws. Like, that's when people one time a year toke dubs.
Or
Thanksgiving's a big one.
Yeah, dude, you beat me to it, Isaiah. You blaze up Thanksgiving morning and you eat like a maniac all day. Travis Kelce knows.
It's kind of a clever sentence by super smart Travis Kelce, who's also complaining about his contract right now, which I kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
If he leaves 20% in the clear by his estimation, that's a lot of plausible for a lot of people.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Trav.
But hey, this dude is calculated. If you think he's come May lucky, like full in the bottom, just a lot of laughs, he is not. This dude is a calculated marketing genius. I know his terrible podcast does really well.
No comment.
So you believe it's a football thing? Is that what you said a little bit ago? You think it's like a football culture thing?
I literally have a minor injury right now from athletic activity, and I treat it with CBD and THC and a little ibuprofen. It's bad. I'm in pain, but it's not bad enough to need any real painkiller or need any like real medical intervention or rehab. I just pour a little weed on it and it's fine.
I think you're right. I think for medical reasons, yeah, but I think culturally as well.
Sure.
Like, it's such a dominant aspect of that specific sport. Also, throw in the NBA, also throw in snowboarding, also throw in competitive swim, also throw in like literally all athletics.
Did you
literally everything?
Did you notice as soon as they extended the NFL season, in the same message that they, the same statement they released to say that there was going to be extra games, they said that they are no longer testing for marijuana. So I think it was like a way to get the players to be okay with it. It's like, if you guys are going to complain about your bodies and the extra injuries, we'll let you smoke weed. So that way you'll, that's how I took it.
Yeah, that's how bargaining works.
It's a complete trade-off. Like, they know they're going to use it no matter what. Do you want your best players taking 2-game suspensions, then 8-game suspensions, then season-long suspensions because they treat themselves? Like, this is Josh Gordon all over again.
Remember Calvin?
Of course. Ricky friggin' Williams.
Hey, Calvin Johnson would have came back if he didn't have the heat on him.
Yes.
He wouldn't have came back to Detroit.
Yeah, he would have went somewhere else where he could smoke weed. Ricky Williams literally chose weed over football. He's like, this is how I treat my pain. This is how I cure my own anxiety. This is how I keep myself on an even keel so I could focus and play this sport. And you're telling me I can't do it? The only thing that makes me the player that I am? Okay, fine. I will quit football.
I don't personally smoke weed. I would choose weed over NFL football.
Oh gosh, don't know how I feel about that one.
What?
I'm talking about beyond the game of football, like your mental stability. If weed keeps you grounded, if it keeps you from having anxiety, if it increases your focus and makes you a better version of yourself, and it gives you the ability to work on yourself, yes, that should be a tool in your toolbox.
Peace of mind overall.
I'm not saying everyone needs to do ayahuasca like Aaron Rodgers is, but I'm saying like weed helps a lot of people, and it should not be stigmatized the way it was the past forever. Like this is new in the human experience that we're taking THC and CBD seriously as a treatable drug, something that is prescribed to people, not just that you just try on the weekend and giggle with your friends and listen to weird music and play video games. No, like this could be a tool for people to enhance their lives.
For so very long, it was used as a tool as well, Van, to oppress the minority groups of this great country in urbanized areas.
Yeah,
true.
For sure.
This is true.
Still is.
Whole reason it was out there.
People are still in jail. People are still in jail from those policies.
And will be forever.
Yeah. I mean, that's releasing incarcerated people who are incarcerated for small drug crimes is probably the biggest impediment to it being federally legalized, because they don't want to deal with all the stuff that's going on in the prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Weed becomes legal. Prisons on the verge of shutting down is not enough inmates. These are real stories.
You know who has like the third biggest lobby in the United States government? For-profit prisons. It's a huge business.
Huge business.
Oil, guns, and for-profit prisons.
Hey, and now it's about to pass in the NCAA where they're not going to test for weed anymore either. So all these guys are about to get a ton of NIL money from weed companies. And it's just going to become another part of the culture.
Thanks.
Another part.
Thanks, Snoop Dogg. Thanks, Willie Nelson. Thanks, Woody Harrelson.
It's still kind of weird to me just driving down the highway and you just see these big boards advertising the dispensaries. It's like, man, this is crazy still.
Well, they've always been there, Zay, but you've just been so high all the
time. Who says I get? Whoa. Assume.
Now, hold on. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Way to assume.
I told you about our we don't have the strong enough legal team to go throwing that stuff around anymore.
Don't do that, he said.
Yeah.
He said, chill out on it. Whenever we get back, less weed talk with the boys. The problem is with the weed talk is it kind of impacts everything.
It's connected to everything.
You want to talk about anything right now in the world? You want to talk about climate control in the state of New Mexico? Let's talk about how we flood fields to grow weed. You want to talk about medical advancements in the state of New Mexico? Let's talk about marijuana. You want to talk about incarcerations in the state of New Mexico? Let's talk about marijuana. I can literally fill in all of the things.
Sure.
All of the things exist.
You're going to talk about us having better schools and roads? Connected to marijuana. Oil and marijuana, baby. Keeping our state alive.
Speaking of drugs, can't do them when you're at the Olympics in Paris. We'll talk about that. Is it World Cup or Olympics?
Olympics.
The Olympics in Paris. Why did I think World Cup? Was there just a World Cup there? No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no clue. But not going to be able to get buzzed. More on that whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This message brought to you by Sandia Golf Club. Our state's best golf course voted on.
You're clear.
This is Sandia Golf Club, committed to providing the best experience and best conditions to golfers of all levels. There's nothing like it. Visit sandiagolf.com for the best available rates and to book your tee time today. We'll see you on the tee.
Seeing more and more congestion westbound on I-40. That's going to start around Carlisle, and it's going to last until Coors. Be careful going through there. Southbound I-25, Osuna to Comanche, traffic moving slow there. Seeing more congestion, Paseo headed west between Jefferson and the river. Southbound on Coors at Montano, traffic moving slow there as well. South of town, I-25 between Albuquerque and Los Lunas, traffic's moving up to speed in both directions.
Brought to you by Folds of Honor.
Join the Folds of Honor at their 8th annual Patriot Shootout, July 7th at Isleta Golf Course. This 4-man scramble with fantastic prizes, including a $20,000 hole-in-one cash prize. To sign up, Google NM Folds of Honor. The proceeds help families of disabled or fallen soldiers and first responders.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Registration is now open for the Lobo Cancer Challenge. Cancer can affect anyone at any stage of life, and you can unite with us against cancer and raise money for the UNM Comprehensive Cancer Center. Choose your bike, run, walk, or stair challenge for this September 23rd event and get your dedication bib and t-shirt. Plus, every dollar raised supports cancer patients, cancer research, outreach, and training right here in New Mexico. Sign up now or get more details online at lobocancerchallenge.org. And we'll see you on race day.
Walking through a junkyard. Each wrecked car tells a story. This one, very sad. She had been drinking and driving. Oh, and this one, terrible. The driver was drunk and drove clear off the road. And this one was my family. The drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter. They didn't make it.
Drinking and driving causes far too many tragic stories. It's time to end DWI. This message brought to you by NMDOT.
Eric Strauss here. Can you imagine how overwhelmed you feel when you're painting a room? How about the entire outside of your house? Just give CertaPro Painters a call. They're honest, clean, thoughtful, and they have that attention to detail that you want from a painter, and you don't want to make a mess out of the outside of your home. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Schedules fill up fast, so act now. CertaPro Painters for your home or business.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe, here to tell you the biggest thing I've learned about insurance companies over the years, and it's really simple. They don't care about you. That's it. Insurance companies are publicly traded companies who have an obligation to their shareholders to deliver profits. They have teams of investigators, adjusters, and lawyers all working against you from the moment you call them, and they want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. Hurt in a wreck? Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Carlos Obri Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque. Glenn Lerner is only licensed in Nevada.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
NFL overload in June? Absolutely. NFL all day, every day. The opening drive with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck starts at 7 a.m.
Going hot, Van?
And welcome back to the program, Duke City. You're listening to Two Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. As always, we are live from the John Lopez Real Estate and Coldwell Banker Legacy Studio.
I've been seeing a face.
Two separate places in the state of New Mexico right now. We play on Team I-9. We start our days at the YMCA, which I did today. Got my swole on. I'm ripping out of shirts, Fred. I can't handle it.
You don't have to tell me a thing that I saw happen yesterday.
I ripped out of another one today. 2 days back to back. I'm ripping out of shirts. You see this rip right here? I'm showing you on the Facebook live stream and YouTube live stream.
You're lying.
Lunch and a milkshake. That goes down at the 66 Diner. Throw-in Thursday, this Thursday at ABQX. The boys will give you $7.50 off per person, per lane, per hour. when we're at ABQ Axe, we're sipping on them Red Door beers. We get all of our sweet merch from the Duke's Team store in the weekends. That's for Teller Vodka, New Mexico's vodka.
If you're not poor, you can drink at the Olympics in Paris.
Yeah. Congratulations. Let them eat cake.
Let them drink soda pop.
So there's a law. All right, by the way, we're talking about there's going to be no alcohol sales at the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris unless you are in a VIP area.
A VIP?
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 You want to have a glass of wonderful French wine? You must be a VIP.
You must be 18 years old and VIP.
Would you like to dip your croissant into a glass of Bordeaux? You must be VIP.
Excuse me, monsieur. VIP.
You cannot have a cigarette with your beer unless you are VIP.
Where is your VIP ring? Olympic ring.
So
you got to make the stank face when you do that one.
1991 in France, for whatever reason.
Evans law, right?
It's called Evans law.
Yeah.
It's a 1991 statute regarding alcohol, prohibits the sale or distribution of alcohol in stadiums, physical education rooms, gymnasiums, and other sports establishments. However, surprise, surprise, there's different rules for catered hospitality areas such as VIP suites. Huh. So different rules for the rich. Okay.
I want one Bud and to be rude and snobbish.
You know what is better than drinking at the Olympics? Being aggressively rude to your server?
I hate speaking English.
I like to roll up the bottom of my slacks 2 times.
Sir, that is an extraordinary large bottle of Chanel number 5.
I would have been a track athlete for country of France, but I did not like the shoes.
I will have one beret, one baguette, one balat. Only if you're VIP.
I would do a 110-meter hurdle, but the beret kept falling off.
That 100 was spot on.
100.
Wherever Victor Wembanyama is, that's where the drinks are.
He needs to drink. He needs all the calories he can get before he starts taking them NBA elbows. That's for sure.
You see what he said?
What?
That he eats snails and frogs every day.
He said, why is everybody telling me to get bigger? Tell them to get skinnier.
Okay.
Okay. Giannis heard that one.
Okay.
Olive oil.
Right.
And beat her that one.
He says, I can jump to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Don't worry about falling off the Eiffel Tower. There will no be alcohol served.
Welcome to France. Now, unwelcome.
You are welcome to smoke as many cigarettes as you want. Just no wine, you peasant.
Can you imagine going to what is the best one? Summer basketball, I guess.
Oh, always.
Track and field. They're all good. Swimming is the one.
Swimming and track.
Gymnastics.
Yep.
All right, which one do you want to get lit at? If we're being real honest.
I feel like swimming would be something else lit.
Yeah.
Way more exciting than you might think.
Yeah, you got to blaze during the track and field events to slow them down a little bit.
You know what it is? It's men's gymnastics.
Yes.
Yeah. If you get loose at men's gymnastics and then
the pommel horse.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, just get hammered and watch the pommel horse.
And it's just me the whole time going, yep, 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 yep. Like that would be me the whole time.
I scored that one at this.
He's on the bar.
That is
I am
that's
at the bar.
that's 10 in French, by the way.
I would not have got that.
This, yeah.
A perfect this.
Yeah. I gave him this, like these nuts. Get it? Oh,
I didn't quite get that one, but yeah.
that's okay.
France, Paris is trying to become Qatar. So
They
this is wild.
they have to change the law by then, right? I mean, after Qatar, like you got to show them up and get lit in Paris. You got to do it right for the first time.
There are 10 exemptions a year, according to the French Constitution. I believe the Olympics it should have been factored in ahead of time, right?
By the guy, the people who invented democracy, obviously we perfected it. Best country in the world. The people who invented democracy, they better use their friggin' democracy to have booze at the Olympics. We can't have another Qatar where no one shows up. Do you remember how sad it was watching sports in Qatar? Like there was no one. No one was there.
Okay, so I just looked up the Le Mans race because I wanted to know. I was like, if you're going to do this big open wheel like race deal or whatever, like it had booze.
You could just hand it out to the cyclists.
No, this is like car stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. My brain immediately went to Tour de France.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so they had booze. So there you go. But there's a ton of booze sponsors at that stuff. Also, I bet the Olympics has booze sponsors.
Of course it does. Budweiser, they got so many millions of dollars.
Hold on. Full on conspiracy. What if Coca-Cola is paying them to not have booze?
Do they even drink soda in France? That's a legit question. I'm asking.
Doubt it.
Yeah.
Europe's very...
They give children wine in France.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Like delicious wine.
Yeah. They just make weak wine and give their children wine.
Don't even card over there.
No. From the Sports Animal live chat, just adjusted my volume, so I hope that helps on the live stream.
Okay, thanks. Sounds good in my ears, Bubba.
Well, I mean, that's what we got.
Sounds much better. Volume sounds great.
Oh, good.
Well, I mean,
thanks, guys.
Much better. Like, I could have got this heads up hours ago. Only 30 more minutes until I'm no longer on this program. Josh Sushan will sit in for the final 15, and the Isotopes return home tonight. It's kind of a funny schedule coming up because with the third, they have to play on a Monday. They're home. Van, is that correct? They're home on Monday, but they're away on the 4th. Did I get that right?
I believe that's correct.
Let me confirm that real quick. So, yeah, so it's at home versus the
Chupacabras.
Yeah. So that's on Monday. And then they immediately go to Oklahoma City on the 4th. So it's a lot of baseball in a row for the Isotopes is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot coming up. And it starts tonight with Chris Bryant at Isotopes Park. So it's going to be a lot of fun to talk to voice of the Albuquerque Isotopes, Josh Sushan. Hold up.
Sushan.
Sushan.
Joshua. Talking baseball.
Are you going to commentate the rugby? You will be telling me about the Tour de France, Tour de Donut. Mets suck whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Irish Spring, the fresh scent of Irish Spring.
You're good, Van.
Sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
Well, traffic right now, we're seeing quite a bit of slowdowns westbound on I-40. Those are going to start right around San Mateo now, and they're going to last until Coors. Watch yourself going through there. We do have a crash westbound on Montano, just west of the river, and that is starting to cause slowdowns now. Be careful going through there, and appreciate the call on the Traffic Tracker hotline about that. Southbound I-25, just south of Paseo, you're going to run into congestion. That lasts until Comanche. And Paseo headed west right now. Jefferson to the river. Traffic's moving slow there.
This report brought to you by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union. Paying too much for your auto loan? Refinance with Sandia Area, and you can save big this summer. Apply today at sandia.org. Sandia Area, better banking without the bank. Restrictions apply. Member eligibility required.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Look at this over in Pittsburgh. I'm Erin Hawksworth here to help you beat the books with BetQL. The Padres and Pirates have both hit the skids recently, and they face off again tonight. They combined for 13 runs last night, and the BetQL model thinks there are more runs where that came from for tonight's matchup. BetQL has over 8 as a 5-star best bet. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetQL app today.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get the ultra smooth, ultra powerful iPhone 11 for $49.99.
He didn't stutter.
See every angle with dual cameras,
Make it a double.
all on America's largest 5G networks.
Large and in charge, baby.
Get with the power of Boost and get the iPhone 11 for $49.99.
That's half a Benjamin.
Boost Mobile.
Unleash your power.
ID verification required. New customers only at one per line. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
Walking through a junkyard. Each wrecked car tells a story. This one, very sad. She had been drinking and driving. Oh, and this one, terrible. The driver was drunk and drove clear off the road. And this one was my family. The drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter. They didn't make it.
Drinking and driving causes far too many tragic stories. It's time to end DWI. This message brought to you by NMDOT.
Hey, it's A-Marie. Weekends are popping at 377 Brewery with comedy shows, live music, and an amazing Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 377 Brewery on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson is for anyone who loves good beer and fun. Look them up at 377brewery.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
All personal injury law firms are not the same. We all claim to do the same things, but that's where the similarities between Lerner & Rowe and all other law firms end. Lerner & Rowe was recently named the second most influential law firm in the country, and we've collected billions of dollars for our injured clients, with over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. If you want real results, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444. Multi-state offices. Carlos Obri-Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque. Glenn Lerner is only licensed in Nevada.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com.
The Duke City's home for sports.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a yes.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Mike's going hot van.
Back on the program. I'm live from Santa Fe.
And your boys here at the Cumulus Studios in Albuquerque in beautiful and historic downtown, overlooking the Al Hurricane Pavilion. Yeah.
For the show, Brian, what's new? Who we got going first in the MLB draft? Wasn't necessarily ready to jump into the MLB draft today. It is like 2 weeks away. Is that right? July 9th?
Right.
Is that what it is?
So his suggestion, Paul Skeens, is a dude. He's a dude.
Is one of Matt Holliday's kids available?
See, that was going to be my next answer. Yeah, how many kids does he have? Because his kid is number one, the official number one prospect in baseball right now.
Jackson, is that his name?
Yes.
The Orioles. Yeah, I mean, I'm in. So the LSU team.
I have a special place in my heart for Florida Gators. Joe Caglione. He's the two-way guy. He's like the Italian Shohei. He's dope. He can throw 100 and he's hit like 30 bombs this year.
Who's drafting first? Pittsburgh, is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. The kid that just played for LSU, the outfielder that can just fly. What is his name?
The two LSU guys are going to go 1-2 most likely.
Cruz or Skeens? One's the pitcher. Skeens is the pitcher, so Cruz. So I say, yeah, take Cruz. There's my answer.
Sweet. I wasn't prepared to do this either. This is 2 weeks away.
It's 2 weeks away. Don't they already have a Cruz on the Pirates too? Like, that's good branding.
Ooh. Go for the cruise with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sponsored by Caribbean Cruise Lines.
Yeah, Dylan Cruz. That's what friend of the show Brian is saying. Friend of the show Joel says, if you're not a coward, you take Victor Wembanyama first overall, have him play first base. I like it.
He's busy. Yeah. I suggested that he play goalie for the New Mexico United. I think there's better money in basketball, but he'd be really good at it.
If you gave me the option of taking dudes out of LSU or Georgia or Florida or any of these like perennial college like super teams, or taking a kid out of high school, there's no way I can take a high school kid. That's so much money to give to a child.
I would always take the younger prospect because they're not going to be ready for another 5 or 6 years anyways. Just take whoever's next in the Holiday family.
I always kind of
if there's like is there an ex-baseball player who instead of retiring in the Caribbean retired in the United States of America and has a child coming up? Because whoever junior from the Caribbean is my next draft pick every time. I'm not even going to ask the scouts. I'm not even going to look at their sabermetrics. I'm like, are you from the Caribbean? Did your dad play baseball? You're my next pick. Congratulations.
Are you sometimes a catcher? Because that would help too. Do you have a pulse and a left hand that works? Let's go.
And you know what? Don't pay these guys either. Because apparently it doesn't matter whatsoever. The New York Mets of a all-time record payroll of $344 million and some change suck. The Mets suck. The Mets have Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander each making $43.3 million a year. You know what you can get for $43.3 million a year times two?
The entire first round of the 2023 Major League Baseball draft?
Oh, you can get the first place Tampa Bay Rays.
That's wild.
And have $8 million left over. You could buy the second place Baltimore Orioles and have $20 million left. You could have Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander and be 9 games under 500, or you can have all of the Baltimore Orioles and $20 million.
Steve Cohen at a press conference today where he said, quote, "It's been incredibly frustrating. I watch every game. I see what's going on. But here we are, and hopefully we can right the ship." You cannot.
No,
you
can't.
will not be able to. Bob Nightingale tweeted that that Cohen said if the Mets do not improve by the August 1st trade deadline, they're not going to add any pieces. They're going to trade them away.
All of them. Hit flush on that turd. $344 million. Let me tell you what $344 million gets you. It can get you the Arizona Diamondbacks. Congratulations. That's a second-place baseball team. It can get you the Miami Marlins. Congratulations. That's a second-place baseball team. It can get you the Cincinnati Reds. Congratulations. That's a first-place baseball team. And it could get you the Tampa Bay Rays. That is 2 second-place teams and 2 first-place teams for the amount of money it cost for one garbage franchise called the New York Mets. Oh, my God. What a disaster.
After Steve Cohen's press conference, the Mets brought a puppy into the press conference room, and then the media played with it to ease up their questioning. Do you think I'm kidding? Do you think I'm kidding at all?
Oh my God, that's awful. That is genius, but that's awful.
I'm going to put on the Talk ABQ social media a photo of this black lab dog in a Mets cape that all of the reporters started petting instead of asking actual questions.
That is legit pathetic.
No, it's brilliant.
Well, I mean, it's brilliant, but it can also be pathetic at the same time. It's sad.
To who?
Okay, first off, Mets fans.
Well, I think the dog has something to do with vets, but
Mets or vets?
both. It's actually a dog that helps vets like reacclimate into society.
Okay, well, good for that puppy. Bad for Steve Cohen for wasting all this money, just giving Mets fans a glimmer of hope. Oh, my God, this is finally all year. We sold our franchise to the richest man to ever own a baseball team. He's going to spend ungodly amounts of money, bring every good player to New York, and we're going to cruise and win a World Series championship. Sorry, Mets fans, you still suck.
Sounds like a fan base I know of real well.
Ah, yes. Spoken like a true Cowboys fan.
Friend of the show, Joel asks, is Bobby Bonilla still on the Mets payroll? The answer is yes, Joel.
Yeah.
I know for a fact he's on their payroll until 2035. He makes $1.2 milli every year until 2035. It's pretty good.
It's coming up, too. July 1st.
July 1st, yeah.
July 1st, he gets 1.2 milli all the way up until 2035.
This deal, Isaiah, was a $6 million deal in the year 2000 that he renegotiated to 1.2 milli for the next 35 years.
Genius.
It's insane.
It's genius.
Yes, he's still getting paid.
You hear about these guys that are still collecting checks and they've been retired for so long that most of the people walking around don't know who they are. They're still just receiving paychecks from their old team.
In 1986, Bobby Bonilla got a salary of $115,000 playing for the Pirates. He got that salary 2 years in a row. Then he got a nice little bump in 88 to $230,000. In 89, $740,000. He's doing all right. In 1990, Van, 1.25, then 2.4. Then the money started rolling in, okay? 6.2 with the Mets in 93, 6.3 with the Mets in 94, 5.5 and 5 in 95, 96 with the Orioles. Had a bunch of cup of coffees with a bunch of teams, including the St. Louis Cardinals, where he made under a milli. Then the Orioles, if you remember forever, back to the Mets, and it's a back and forth payment of 1.1 from the Mets and $500,000 from the Baltimore Orioles. But people don't talk about that one as much because it's not as funny. So stupid.
And it's not just Bobby Bonilla. He's the best example, and he has the longest one.
Mm-hmm. Ken Griffey Jr.
The third highest player on the Reds this year is Ken Griffey Jr. Joey Votto got himself a bag.
Friend of the show, Brian, is talking about how it's a part of the Madoff Ponzi scheme. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Made out.
Yep. Literally made off with that bag.
This year's Griffey's final year. Next year is actually his final year. $4 million each year. It will pay out for the final time in 2024.
Worth every dollar.
Out of the top 4 people get paid on the Cincinnati Reds, 2 of them don't play for their team.
What's Ellie De La Cruz making?
Minimum $450.
League mini?
Yep.
Only.
Yeah.
That is the most exciting dude I've ever seen. Like, we just talked about Shohei, but like, I guess the hype was there in the world of baseball, but it wasn't there in the world of casual fan, right? So when he came up, it was like whenever you got like a fun extra firework,
Sure.
like you're watching, and then there's one that goes a little bit higher and it's a little bit brighter and it's a little bit louder. It's still just a firework, but Ellie De La Cruz, something special.
Yeah, he's in the Ron Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hype area, like these once-in-a-generation talents who have not let us down so far. By the way, we say this on the program all the friggin' time. Baseball has never been better.
Never.
We have this youth movement. The only time baseball has ever been better, the guys were all hopped up on drugs. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa was the greatest season in the history of baseball. I'm not going to dispute that fact. Besides that, this is the best generation of baseball right now. These young players have never been better. And oh yeah, if you weren't listening earlier in the program, we told you that the best player in the history of baseball, Shohei Ohtani, is active right now and doing it better than anyone's ever done before. If you're not going to watch these young studs play, you don't want to give up the time, you don't want to dip your toe into baseball again,
And then claim the game sucks.
watch Shohei Ohtani.
Try to break soon.
Yeah.
Just 12 short minutes away from Josh Sushan joining us. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure it'll be continued baseball talk, but Chris Bryan is returning to Ice Stopes Park tonight. Van, we put a ribbon on it between you and I whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. During Staples Small Business,
you're clear.
You save 50% when you buy any combination of 5 or more boxes, mailers, and shipping tubes. Offer ends July 1st. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Concord, New Hampshire location. Prices may vary. Keep your business running right and save at Staples.
And traffic right now, things moving really slow westbound on I-40.
I got it going out at 54 again.
As you approach San Mateo, they're going to go all the way down until Coors, so be patient if you're caught up in that. Southbound I-25 right now, Osuna to Comanche, traffic continuing to move slow there. Also still seeing quite a bit of slowdowns westbound on Paseo. Those start at Jefferson. They'll last until the river. Westbound on Alameda moving slow as well as you approach the river there. And southbound on Coors at Montano, seeing slowdowns in that area as well. And Montano's crash cleanup continuing still westbound on Montano, just west of the river. You're going to see slowdowns going back to about 4th Street.
All In Autographs wants to celebrate Independence Day with you. Join us at the store on July 1st and 2nd for 20% off specialty mark items and enjoy lunch on us. It doesn't get more American than hot dog, soda, and sports memorabilia. All In Autographs, Wyoming, just south of Manal.
This report brought to you by All In Autographs.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
There are 3 seasons on the sports calendar: football season, non-football season, and smack off season. The date for smack off number 29 is Friday, June 30th. $5,000 to the winner, $0,000 to second place.
Don't worry, you're all winners, losers. It doesn't matter how much money you make this week if your heart's gonna explode the next.
Take your best shot, tough guys. I'll see you in my driveway.
Acknowledge me! God, I hate these guys.
June 30th. Come get some.
On Wisconsin.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
So you just used bug spray in your home.
Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
On July 4th, we celebrate our nation's independence from that rascal King George III with cookouts, baseball, apple pie, and fireworks. Summer's in full swing, and everyone's enjoying the warm weather in the company of friends and family. If part of your celebration involves drinking too much, please don't drive. That's why the Take a Ride on Us program in 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, have partnered with Bernalillo County Department of Behavioral Health Services, Sandoval County DWI Prevention, and Glasheen Vias and Inderman Injury Lawyers to help end DWI. Open your Uber app now and under vouchers, enter the code FREEDOM23 in all caps. Then at the end of the day, if you end up more lit than fireworks, request an Uber and we'll pay up to $10 for your ride. The offer is good for the first 2,000 people who use the code between Friday, June 30th at 10 a.m. and Wednesday, July 5th at 2 a.m. for up to 2 rides per person. Enjoy the 4th, celebrate our hard-won freedom, and take a ride on us. Together, we can end DWI.
Baseball season's in full swing, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Just go to FanDuel.com/win to join today. Don't miss your chance to snag a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Go to FanDuel.com/win to sign up. FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Must be president, state, where lawful to wager 21 plus and president select states first online real money wager. Only $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-888-770-STOP. Louisiana. GamblingHelpMA.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Visit mdgamblinghelp.com in Maryland. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. 1-888-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
There's only one road, and there's only one.
Hey, Van's going to be a tight one. We got the breakout at 55.
95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
You're hot now.
Here's the best story I saw all day we didn't talk about. Draymond Green and Damian Lillard have rented out a downtown restaurant in Portland to have dinner tonight, just so that 3 days from now, Draymond Green can sign with the Golden State Warriors. And they've ruined everyone's dinner reservation. And this is a real-life thing.
This is legit hilarious.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to go interview with a new company and ruin everyone's night, and then I'm going to go back to my thing. Or maybe it's Draymond recruiting. That's what it is. Oh, you already traded garbage Jordan Poole. There's no one else to trade.
Well, Draymond Green is a free agent right now. He's not even part of the Warriors.
Yeah, but he is.
He's probably going to try to convince him to get traded to the Heat, and then he'll go sign with the Heat. He's like, Dame, look, this is Portland. Outside of downtown, they hate people of color here. This is the most hills have eyes part of the country that exists outside of Alabama. Dame, get out of here. Let's go to Miami.
Steve Kerr's driving around downtown Portland trying to find this restaurant.
He's the guys.
Good job today, boys. Josh Sushan replaces me whenever we get back.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy. Thanks for joining.
Live at ABQ Axe tomorrow.
Let's throw some axes. Have some Red Door beers.
2 men on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
You're clear, Van.
Brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
The Albuquerque Journal and Venue Plus for local insight and answers about pets or puzzles, sports or shopping, comics or movies, events, dining, music, television, and more. Get all your entertainment and recreational questions answered. Subscribe at abqjournal.com.
Taking a look at traffic right now, westbound I-40, things continue to move slow as you approach Carlisle. Those slowdowns last until Coors. I-25 southbound Osuna to Comanche, dealing with slowdowns there as well. Westbound on Montano. Looks like final stages now of crash cleanup just west of the river, but you're going to see quite a bit of slowdowns as you approach Coors there on westbound Montano, so watch out for that. And headed west on Paseo right now between Jefferson and the river, traffic continuing to move slow there. When you replace your roof, you want experience and attention to detail. That's Rocky Mountain Roofing. See their 5-star reviews at RockyMountainRFG.com.
Call on Rocky Mountain, the most trusted name in roofing.
This report is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Roofing.
If you see an accident, call the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture and Mattress, proudly providing New Mexicans with quality furniture and service for over 87 years. I'm Michael Carlisle from the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
With every other attorney in town talking about winning and how much they've won, it's time we look at the facts and set the record straight. Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 people collect billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion recovered in the last 5 years alone. We have over 50 attorneys and over 400 legal professionals and their resources to fight for you. The reality is, there's Lerner and Rowe, then there's everybody else.
Lerner Rowe can get you more. Call 544-4444.
Multi-state offices. Carlos Obri Espinosa is the managing attorney, 2711 Carlisle Boulevard, Northeast Albuquerque. Glenn Lerner is only licensed in Nevada.
Most people gamble. They visit a casino, buy a lottery ticket, play an online game. But for a few, gambling becomes more than fun. It becomes a problem, an addiction, just like a drug or alcohol addiction. Free and confidential help and treatment is available, funded by Responsible Gaming Association of New Mexico. A toll-free hotline, 888-696-2440, is available 24 hours a day. Find help at rganm.org.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, AM 610 KNML Albuquerque. The sports animal. Proud to be a Cumulus media station.
Getting ready to go hot?
Not that proud of us. Now betting for the sports animal. Your afternoon drive. Number 2, Men On, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Amory Castillo.
And you're hot now.
On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. 2 hours in the books. Not a full program today, but that's okay, because you know what? You get some Isotopes baseball tonight, and right now, you get some voice of the Isotopes, Joss Sushan. What's happening, my dude?
Good afternoon, Van. I hope that you were able to recover from 2 straight days of a full show, and apologize for starting off another 3 months of taking away a lot of your content.
Well, luckily you're just so universally loved in Albuquerque and surrounding areas, and you're so universally loved by our friends of the show. People don't mind as long as it's you taking away from our content.
Yeah, well, it's all, and there's a lot of Chris Bryant content too, and so that helps too. I mean, it's just me, but really, it's a lot of Chris Bryant for today and tomorrow, so that's exciting. There's an enormous number of people that are lined up by the railing, hoping to get a picture, an autograph, a wave, something from Chris, as he at some point will be walking down that runway here soon.
So the Topes have been out of town for 2 straight weeks. You had an extra day off. And now you get back into town, and it's 50 Cent hot dog night, and Chris Bryant is there? What?
Yeah, exactly. And then we got beach towels, and we got the mariachi bobblehead, and we got 4th of July fireworks. We got multiple fireworks shows. Yeah, this is going to be a really, really good week. And having Chris Bryant here for what sounds like 2 games, you never know for sure with these things, probably 2 games, adds a little extra sizzle to what should be a really fun week of with warm weather. And we're back in first place, man. We're back in first place.
So I'm assuming, we're back in first place. You're exactly right. Second half of the season starts right here, right now. And anything could happen on this. Starting with Chris Bryant, having him in the middle of your lineup, starting the second half of the season, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, let's face it. We know that for infinity years, but especially recently, the Isotopes have had a really good offense, and it's can we get enough pitching? And then on the last road trip, the offense was struggling, but that's because at one point the 5 best Isotopes offensive players of the season were all with the Rockies.
Sure.
Okay, so now, we have Michael Toglia back. We have Chris Bryant on a rehab assignment. Alan Trejo is here. And then when Bryant goes up to the big leagues, that means someone from the major leagues is going to come back down, and I don't know who that's going to be, but that adds another good player to the offense. And so, Cole Tucker's been hot. Brian Servant is here. So, we have, you look at the lineup and you're like, okay, we got a bunch of dudes back in the lineup, and then we're going to have another really good dude, probably 2 days from now, 3 days from now, once Bryant gets reinstated from the injury list. So that's exciting for the offense.
I know the Albuquerque Isotopes organization are complete professionals, top to bottom, on the field, off the field, front office, in the community.
I'm sensing a butt is coming.
But have you seen people like drifting around the stadium trying to look for Chris Bryant, like trying to be like looking over their shoulder? Oh my God, is general manager John Traub watching me? I'm going to sneak off and go downstairs, sneak into the hallways, try to get me a view of Chris.
No, our security is very good. I did see a few more people than normal that were outside the Isotopes clubhouse looking to get Chris's autograph before he walked in the doors today. From what I understand, he flew into Albuquerque today and then just went straight to the ballpark. He hasn't even gone to his hotel. So, and this is going to be, it's actually the day game tomorrow is actually perfect for him because he'll be in town for about 36 hours or so, right? He got in a whole bunch of work earlier today, talked to the local press. You'll see that in the Albuquerque Journal, all the local TV stations. I snagged a bunch of the audio. You'll hear that on our pregame show. But Chris can play today's game and then get a good night's sleep, play tomorrow afternoon's game, and then he can be on a flight back to Denver sometime tomorrow night and maybe even be in their lineup by, Friday possibly, if everything goes well. You never know.
4-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, MVP. Like, this is one of our better gets, right? This is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's going to be really hard to top Manny Ramirez at the peak of Manny Mania because of the whole steroid thing that was going on. So I think that one's always going to be number one. When Matt Kemp came here and he was the reigning runner-up for MVP, that definitely moved the needle as well. I don't know if Chris Bryant is going to top that because when Matt Kemp was here as a weekend, this is a Tuesday, Wednesday,
right?
But look, the Cubs fans are enormous. I see a few people wearing Giants uniforms because he is a Giants legend in addition to being a Cubs legend, right? And then you think about like on the other team, when Cody Bellinger came here, I think that was 2 years ago. He was the reigning MVP at the time. We've had some other high-profile rehab assignments when we were on the road. Like we faced Clayton Kershaw on the road. We faced guys like Mark Mulder and Mark Pryor, guys like that. But, off the top of my head, I'm thinking this is probably top 3, top 5, easily top 5, maybe top 3 rehab assignments ever.
Not only for his results on the field, he is a stud MLB player and has been for quite some time. Ladies out there, he might be the best-looking dude in baseball.
His eyes really are sparkly. Like you hear people talk about like how sparkly his eyes are, and then when you see him, you're like, oh my gosh, his eyes really do sparkle. Here's the other thing. He's just like the nicest guy. And he's so genuine when he's talking, and this is now like 3 times, right? Because last year we had him in Salt Lake, we had him in Las Vegas, and now here, and all 3 times he's done a media scrum, and he couldn't be nicer to all of the local media in all 3 different cities, and just the way that he interacts with the players and the younger guys, and even the way that he answers questions about, he was saying today about how, when you're around younger players and you kind of live vicariously through them and kind of like their energy, and they're first doing this and they're first doing that. He's always just been a really solid human being, in addition to being a very good baseball player who unfortunately has had a whole bunch of injuries. But I'm not writing off Chris Bryant and his ability to do amazing things on the baseball field again the rest of his career.
A little speculation here. Obviously, we want him on the Rockies for as long as he's playing good baseball, hitting dingers and playing good third base and outfield. But you think there's a little chance that he might demand a trade to go play in his hometown of Las Vegas when the Oakland A's move there?
Well, that's a long ways from now. And with the A's going to pick up his salary, no chance of that, right? So I would say that there is I'm still not convinced the A's are going to Las Vegas. I'm convinced they're not going to stay in Oakland, but I don't know when they're going to Las Vegas. And, I'm just I'm going to take the serious under on that one.
So, friends of the show, what you're witnessing here is one of the stages of grief. It's called denial, is what Josh Sushan is doing. He's still in denial that the A's are leaving Oakland and his childhood team. He's still clawing and fighting for them to stay there.
I know they're not staying in Oakland. I'm just not convinced they're going to play baseball in Las Vegas when they say they're going to play baseball, because that ownership group does not have a very high track record of completing things when they say they're going to complete things.
Sure. I mean, if and from friend of the show Brian suggests Nashville ?
I put it this way: when Major League Baseball does decide to expand, I think Nashville's at the top of the list. It should be at the top of the list.
They're on the short list, right?
Yeah. For me, it's Nashville, it's Charlotte, it's Indianapolis, it's Montreal if they can figure out a stadium. Like those are the places. Put it this way: when you already have NFL team, NHL team, NBA team, when you have like 2 of those 3, or when you have all 3, it kind of makes sense to add the Major League Baseball team too.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you're seeing this new wave of talent throughout Major League Baseball. These young studs are just popping up. Usually you got to cut your teeth in the minors and you got to go through the motions in the majors. There's kids popping up the past 3 to 5 years who are just immediately studs.
Yeah, isn't it an awesome thing? It's fantastic, because in the thing that I like about the players that are coming up right now is that they're not just like these. It's not like Pete Incaviglia coming up, right? Who's just going to hit 30 home runs and strike out 200 times and can't play defense. No offense, Pete. I know Pete's listening. It's guys who come up and they can run, they can hit for power, they can play defense, like they can do it all. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ellie De La Cruz, and obviously Shohei is a 2-way guy who's been up for a while now. But you just think about the guys who come up and just the energy that they bring. I mean, De La Cruz, Cincinnati sold out the weekend, right? I mean, that is an incredible baseball town that has been dormant for so long. This guy comes up, and within 3 weeks, he's selling out their ballpark. And when he's getting doubles and triples with his speed, it's not just a sold-out ballpark. It is an electrifying ballpark.
And the reason I bring up the youth movement again is like there's so many good young players. That gives me hope that you can have a big expansion, maybe a 4-team, maybe a 6-team expansion all at once. And you got enough talent to fill out these rosters instead of just having your same 30 teams, 10 or 15 of them be good. And we got these 4 expansion teams that are going to be absolute disasters.
Well, what we've also learned, especially from the NHL, is that how you sign free agents and how you do expansion drafts and things like that can quickly. I mean, even the Diamondbacks, right? They started in 98. They won the World Series in 2001. And it wasn't because of homegrown talent. It's because they went out and signed Randy Johnson and a whole bunch of other really good players. Traded for Kurt Schilling. Signed a whole bunch of other really good players that were high priced. That's how they got there.
We were talking about the Steve Cohen and the Mets just absolutely burning bags of money there in New York and not getting any results. For the $350 million that the New York Mets have spent on their team this year, you could get the first place Diamondbacks, the first place Reds, the first place Rays, and the second place Baltimore Orioles, and it'll only cost you $13 million more.
Wow.
Yeah. You can get 3 first place teams and 1 second place team for the same price as the dumpster fire New York Mets.
Do you think that the players union is not very happy about this though? Because if you're the players union, you want more money, right? You want teams to spend money in the offseason. You want every team to do what the Mets did.
Sure. Yeah, the
owners are like, see, that's why we don't spend money. And the players union is like, oh no, you need to spend money.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then you got the lowly Tampa Bay Rays, the lowly Baltimore Orioles, Cincinnati Reds, Miami Marlins are great this year. Diamondbacks are great this year. Not spending money, not spending outside of their air quotes small market, air quotes medium market, and they are crushing it with fantastic drafting of youth and then developing players and bringing them up at the right time. And then you got the Mets and Yankees and Padres and Phillies struggling, and they're all spending hundreds of millions of dollars. It is fascinating this year.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about the Reds and the Diamondbacks is that those two teams are doing it with speed. Like, they're doing it in a lot of different ways, and it's not like they just suddenly had this epiphany in the offseason, oh, we're going to get faster. And it's not like they knew 4 years ago when they were drafting Corbin Carroll and signing Ellie De La Cruz, hey, that they're going to change the rules and really emphasize speed with base stealing and things like that, right? It's just kind of like the confluence of things work together for the Reds and for the Diamondbacks, that they have a bunch of young players who are really fast because their speed is winning games for them. Before the Pirates cooled off, their speed was winning games for them. And I think that's exciting because in baseball, as we know, Van, everyone just copies each other, right? So there's going to continue to be this push. Let's find athletes. Let's let athletes be athletes. The shift, you can no longer do this big shift, bigger bases, step off, pick off, disengagement rules and things like that. We're going to get faster, and I think that's really good for the sport.
I was going to invite you out for a post-game beverage, but you got to go back to work first thing in the morning tomorrow, Josh. We got a nooner, baby.
That's right. Sleep fast.
I'll be up there. I'll be up there tonight. I got to get my eyes on Chris Bryant in person, and I'll be there tomorrow. I love me some day games. And then we got a fun weekend coming up too.
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, and I hope that everyone can make plans to come join us because we got a little bit of everything, between the mariachi bobblehead, the beach towel, the fireworks, Independence Day, Chris Bryant tonight, tomorrow, 50-cent hot dogs. We got a day game tomorrow. We got a lot of everything. It should be a really fun week.
Who's on the pregame, Sue?
Chris Bryant. We're going to hear from the man himself about he actually played here when he was a teenager. He doesn't have a lot of memories, but he shared some of the memories of playing here. And then also just the, just being back in a minor league ballpark and kind of the how that stirs different memories for him.
So you're telling me Rookie of the Year, MVP, perennial All-Star, Chris Bryant landed in Albuquerque, and the first thing he did was sit down with voice of the Isotopes, Josh Sushan.
That's incorrect. He sat down with me and Jeff Grammer and Brandon Ortega and Jared Chester and a few others as well. We call it a scrum.
Sure.
He did a scrum.
This bummer. I was double booked today. I would have liked to have been there. You know how we do. We're always busy.
Exactly.
Josh, have a great call tonight. I'll come say hi, and I'll come say hi again tomorrow. I love me a day game.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Have a good call, brother. Talk to you tomorrow. Hell of a program today, Duke City. Hell of a program today, world. Thanks for all the callers. Thanks for all the texters. Thanks to everyone hanging out with us in the live stream, whether you're watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live or Instagram Live, or you're listening to us in the future on Spotify or Stitcher or Apple or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks for being a friend of the show. Stay safe out there. We love you. Burke Isaiah, thank you so much. You crushed it today.
Thank you.
We'll be seeing you tomorrow, and I'll be seeing you tonight and tomorrow from Isotope Stadium.
Albuquerque Isotopes.
Albuquerque Isotopes baseball is on the air.
Well.